Welcome to our first video from Galilee Experience here in Tiberias, Israel, that's going to be teaching you about how to blow shofar. It's a little known fact, but the first time a shofar was ever blown in the Bible was on Mount Sinai, when God descended on Mount Sinai to meet the Hebrew people. This is in the book of Exodus. And there came a loud shofar blast from the mountain. And God was on the mountain, and so I've come to the conclusion that God was the first to blow the shofar, and the first time a shofar is ever mentioned. This is what most of the shofars that are for sale today, this is what they look like. In some cases, you also have a ram's horn. That will look something like this. Okay? This is a nice large ram's horn. And this shofar here is more commonly known as a Yemenite shofar, and it comes, usually they come from Africa, and the raw material which comes from Africa is then brought into Israel and made into a shofar. It's shined, and they burrow a hole through the mouthpiece, and hopefully you've got a good mouthpiece. So to start with, for those of you who don't know what a shofar sounds like, here's a small blow. Okay, so this is a shofar sound. A ram's horn will sound a bit more high-pitched, usually because of the smaller body and smaller mouthpiece. And so here's what a ram's horn sounds like. Okay, so that's a ram's horn. Now, starting with the Yemenite shofar. Now, the reason I start with the Yemenite shofar is not because I want to sell you a bigger shofar. A lot of times people will come into the Galilee Experience shop, and I'll say, well, here, grab a big shofar and I'll teach you how to blow. And they're assuming that I'm giving them the big one so that I can sell them the more expensive shofar. The thing is, the larger the mouthpiece, the easier it is to blow. So if you're just starting out and you want to learn how to blow a shofar, I recommend using a larger shofar just to start out with. And all you need to know how to do is basically this. Alright? And now I'll do it while applying a shofar to my mouth. Ready? Here we go. Alright? Very simple. So you want to try that for a bit. You can also just give a few practice runs without a shofar. Just go all over the place. So that's the basics of how to blow a shofar. A lot of people want to know how to get the lower and higher tones. And so to do that, all you do is tighten your lips. But what's important is to keep that vibration going. So you could go really low, or you could go really high. There's a difference, and that difference is best. You can hear it best on a shofar. So for example, a low would be, and a high would be, and all I did there was tighten or loosen my lips. Another thing you want to check when blowing a shofar is, first of all, that the hole goes all the way through. You could do that by taking your palm and tapping it against the hole, and you should hear a tapping sound coming out of the end of the shofar. If a shofar is plugged up on the inside, you will not hear the tapping sound on this side of the mouthpiece. One more thing, and one of the most important things to pay attention to, is the mouthpiece of the shofar. In a lot of cases, the mouthpiece was burrowed through without any care whatsoever. They got a bunch of shofars and just started making holes and hoping for the best. They're just going to sell them to tourists. That's too bad that it happens. But you want to pay attention that the mouthpiece is not too wide. If the mouthpiece is too wide, your sound is going to be very bland, very flat. You need to have a small enough mouthpiece with I call it an iris. The hole on the inside is just narrow enough to get a good blast of wind through, but not too wide so that all of the wind is going through at once, making it very hard to create a proper sound. And then if you get good enough, you can get two shofars and you can blow them at the same time. Now, a lot of times I'll ask people if they want to know what the trick is to blowing a good two shofars, and the answer is you come to the Galilee experience and you buy 2 shofars. That's how it starts. After that, you can make a sound that sounds like this. Thank you for watching, and if you have any more questions, please contact us at thegalileeexperience.com. You could also call us toll-free, 1-888-838-7928.